Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, where today we are getting into our theory, Rowan. It has been so long since I did my last our theory. Rowan, if you were with me like almost a year ago, probably, at least 8 months. 8 months ago I asked, who are your favourites for R? Who do you like best for the most likely to be R in this game? And number one suggestion was Rowan. So we had, I can't remember who was like second. There was obviously like Tom Riddle. We've done Rita Skeeter. We did Rake Pick 1 when she came into the fold. And we did a Ben, I think. Was it a Ben? Anyway, who is our favourite? We're going into Rowan today. Because Rowan is, just recently in this chapter has had that same kind of ambiguity as Ben had. It was like, is he under control of the Imperious Curse, or is he just pretending to be in and using it as a convincer? So it could be a good con artist, and every good con artist, you need to back it up. Do something to convince them that you cannot be lying. It's like if you're trying to convince somebody of something, you might like have a website. It's like a phishing email. They're so convincing. They don't just say, look, we're from Halifax, give me your money. Halifax is a bank in England. They say, hey, Look at this convincing site. I mean, the URL is different, but don't pay attention to that. Look at the convincing things. Maybe this is Rowan doing that. He's making us think, oh yeah, I'm under control of the Imperious Curse. So we're going to be going into the details of it. What's the evidence for? What's the evidence against? And then coming to an idea of what do we think. So let's look at our evidence for. Rowan is someone beginning with the letter R. Most basic theory is that R began with something had in the name, probably has something related to R. And Rowan has got that. It's a very small bit of evidence, and there are so many other people with R's in the names. Rate Pick, Rita Skeeter, Riddle. They just made it so that it would be too many R's for us to think it can be one person. So for that sense, we can say that Rowan is a possibility. One of the big things for Rowan is that he was with us from the beginning. The first person that we met. He was almost waiting for us. Hogsmeade. I say he, she, depending on whether you chose a female or male character. Yeah. So if you were trying to infiltrate yourself into Goshinyhunting's life, so let's say he is part of R, if R is a community of people, we could see that he has been sent on a mission by his parents, maybe brother, of right, look, we need to get access to these cursed vault. I need you to infiltrate Goshinyhunting, infiltrate his life, or whatever your main character's name is. And with that, he has thought, right from the beginning, become friends, just like, obviously your first people you meet are more likely to be the friends that you have for the rest of the journey, right? And we picked up a lot of friends on the way, but Ron, Hermione, and Harry Potter, get straight in there and you're best of friends for the rest of the experience. And Rowan, out of all the people, I think is our best friend. He is, the person who we go to for every bit of information. He is the Hermione of Hogwarts Mystery. He does tend to know a lot. So if you were going to be somebody who is clever enough to disguise your who you are or your hidden agenda, you need to be quite clever. And we know Rowan can find us any details on anything that we want throughout this game. He's reliable that way. So it's not too far-fetched to believe that he would be smart enough to be able to convince us or play a trick on us and con us out of a good friendship. So we know he's smart enough to do this. Is he skilled enough as a wizard? He's obviously very knowledgeable. He's always studying about everything. He's probably quite a strong wizard. We haven't seen him. Have we even ever battled Rowan? I think we did a practice one on him a while, like right at the very beginning. But nothing serious. because our friendship has remained strong throughout the whole thing. Like, there's always been doubts over Ben. There's always been doubts over, like, obviously Marula. Tulip is a little shifty figure. Jay, still not convinced about Jay. So we've got people who are enemies of us, you know, Rita Skeeter. But Rowan has been somebody who's always been our friend. Now, that puts him in a pretty good position to be able to, you know, keep track of our movements, learn what we know about the Cursed Vaults. We even go, he didn't even need to come to us most of the time. We go meet him in the common room and we tell him what do we need to know next. And with that being so knowledgeable, it might be that he already knows some of this information. He's just like, okay, I'll go check in the books. But deep down, he knows this information because he knows about the Cursed Vaults. And he's literally just guiding us to get to a final point, which I think will be in the 5th vault. Clearly, there is something there. I've got my fingers stuck in my mug. I can't get it out. Oh, fudge! I did just spill all over my laptop. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Oops. We're back. Slightly tidier. Because clearly there's something about Jacob's trapped in some way. The final vault could not be accessed when he did it or somebody else tried to find it. And that it seems to be that we're the only ones who can potentially get there and free Jacob. It might be that there's some link there between, you know, you have to have a sibling or a family member. What if, like, the final curse is you've got to sacrifice the one you love? That would be crazy. So there's definitely something about that where if Rowan would be well placed at the beginning of the year to make friends with us if he was R, or if he is part of R, if we're to view it as R as an organization. Now, one of the problems with him being R is that you'd think R would be some kind of rich clan, but I don't suppose that Rowan is from a family of tree makers. No, they don't make trees. They make wood. They use the wood from the trees. Kana Farms. It doesn't sound like the most dangerous place where a clan of R would be, but maybe that's just a cover. How do we know that he is an actual farmer of wood? We just take him at his word, and we've never been to his house because he's never invited us round. In fact, none of our good friends have ever invited us round over the holidays. I mean, guys, I literally have no brother. My dad just is non-existent within this game, and my mum, we know nothing about her. We know more about the Weasley's parents than we do about my parents. So Rowan could be hiding that. You know, it's not too far-fetched to believe that he would like make that up. But you think that at some point he might have the risk of being disproved. So I think he's genuine about that. Whether though that is their family's cover of IMR, we don't know. That could have been Rowan's background, but somebody could have approached him from R and said, "Look, do you want to join our like super cool R clan and become R, where R is a one person that, you know, R can be like your father, then when your, you know, apprentice has grown up, they become R." It might be something like that. So there's a lot of theories around R, isn't there? That it's one single person, and it's been one single person the whole way through. That it is more than one person, it's potentially a clan of people, or a secret organization, or that maybe my new theory is that like it's passed down to different people with R's. It might be that you then like name your son R. It'd be interesting to know what Rowan's father's name is. We should just ask him. If he said Richard, I'd be like, ooh, that's fitting my theory. Don't know. Any other evidence for him? Yeah, powerful wizard. Definitely well placed if he was to be our first friend we ever made. He has R in his name. Other than that, throughout the kind of the storyline, he's played a very kind of neutral, good friend role. However, though, he has, in a sense, been trying to put the blame of who R is on Ben. So he has been, you know, what Ben was clearly taken over by the Imperious Curse, right? And Rowan just straight up distrustful of him, even voicing that to me to try and almost convince me that Ben is R. Now, one motive that you'd have for that is if he's R, because, you know, the best way to kind of remove any sense of that you are the kind of person with the hidden agenda is to throw it onto somebody else. And he did that very well. You know, he clearly was, you know, just straight on the line of, yeah, Ben's just making it up. Obviously, now it's happened to him. He's like, if he isn't R, he's like, oh, I feel so bad. He genuinely was under the Imperious Curse. No, sorry, Ben. So that's the evidence for Rowan. My evidence. Any further evidence you have, let me know in the description below. Now, let's look at evidence against. First of all, Rowan is our age. Unless he's taking an age potion, he is attending Hogwarts at the same time that we are. And unless his family is related to R, he's not going to have much opportunity to learn about the curse vaults. He's, you know, not old enough. The main one is that he wouldn't have been around at the time, or at Hogwarts at the time, of Jacob, Rakepick, Duncan Ash. He wouldn't have been around at that time, and therefore he couldn't be R unless there's an aging potion involved, unless R is somebody else. So there's kind of a big bit of evidence against him. A lot of evidence that we've looked at through notes shows us that there probably was somebody who was around at that time. Therefore, we're looking at the age range around Rakepick. Duncan Ash is a ghost, so you can't tell his age off that. But there was around at that same time. So if we're looking at evidence against him being R, we need to analyze this scene in two ways. Either he is R and he's faking it, or he is in fact under the Imperious Curse. So first of all, we see are you alright, Rowan? Something's happening. If he's under the Imperious Curse, he will be in excruciating pain, like he is there. So once cast, as we saw Rakepick cast on that Dark Wizard, excruciating pain, now under the control of someone, or faking it, or faking it. You can see him there trying to resist the Imperious Curse there. Now, now, one of the things in this scene which really acts against Rowan being R and faking it is the fact in the background was Percy, and Peter Pettigrew. Barnaby taking the hit. Love you, Barnaby. So whilst we're chatting, we can see that in the background there is Percy and Scabbers in the background, listening to us, you know, spying in on what we're doing. So whilst the Imperious Curse is being cast, Peter Pettigrew switches to I think just Peter Pettigrew, Scabbers, and Percy actually goes away. So we know that Peter Pettigrew is there at that point, casting potentially the Imperious Curse. I'm not sure but he's in the form of Scabbers. I mean, he could have switched back, and then he's casting the Imperious Curse. I recall seeing him, but I can't. So yeah, so at that point, he's very small because obviously looking at a small screen, he is still in the background, but Percy is gone. Now, can wizards cast the Imperious Curse or cast any curse whilst they're in animagus form? I'm not sure they can. That'd be interesting to know. I don't think. I'm not sure they can do. I don't know the fact for sure. Be sure to comment in the description, in the comment section below, if you do know for sure. But if he's in animagus form, then he can't be casting, and he can't cast the Imperious or any spells. Well, then he's not the one potentially doing it. He might disappear. I don't think he does though. I think he stays there the whole scene. So there's a chance here that Peter Pettigrew is the one casting the Imperious Curse. Now we know Peter Pettigrew, and we know that Scabbers has been here for a long, long time, and we know that he wants to seek power. So Peter Pettigrew has a good intention, but whether he is R, or he is controlling Rowan for other means. I'm not sure. Peter Pettigrew is going to be deeply involved in this. Now we see in the next chapter, it's going to involve Peter Pettigrew and uncovering one of the biggest wizarding secrets of all time. Apparently, that's what the chapter 20 reads. So I think we'll find out a lot more about that. Now, one little theory that I'm going to chip in around here is that whilst I was watching chapter 19, just felt like it felt like deja vu a little bit. Rakepick was teaching us the Imperious Curse. Up until now, Rakepick has always been somebody who doesn't potentially play against like normal rules, isn't afraid to, do the wrong thing to get what she wants, potentially. But it's never gone as far as to casting one of the unforgivable curses. And this made me remember when Moody was in the class teaching everybody Crucio, controlling that spider. He cast an unforgivable curse, which is punishable by prison, Azkaban, if you cast it. Now, Rakepick is showing us as well. And for me, this just looks like it's an evil act. And I haven't really placed her as evil until now. But I was thinking, what if she's no longer under control of her body? What if she's not even Rakepick? We know that Rakepick went looking, because she took the Marauders map, and then she went looking for someone who she believed was probably, who we believe is probably Peter Pettigrew, because that's who you'd see in secret when you look at the Marauders map. Now, if she had the map, then she found him. She wouldn't have had to look far. She would have just had to go into the Gryffindor common room and find him. But what if, while she was going to find him, he cast the Imperious Curse on her? Or, even worse, she's already dead. And we're going to discover that in future episodes, because we know in year 5, someone close to us is going to die. And Rakepick seems like the most likely person, because she is a Defense Against the Dark Arts class teacher. And they only last a year. They only ever last a year because of the curse that Voldemort cast on it. So it would make sense that she could be the one to die. And it would be probably perfect with what we've just seen if Peter Pettigrew cast the Unforgivable Curse and maybe even killed her, and is using Polyjuice Potion. It's difficult to say, but I think she could be under the control of Peter Pettigrew now. Then you could argue as to why would she teach us this unforgivable curse that we could potentially cast against him. Yeah, I get that. Might be hard, but it might be that, I don't know, it might be that he has an agenda. If Peter Pettigrew isn't R, which I don't think he is, I don't think he's R or part of that organisation, because it just doesn't fit right in terms of timeline. It works. He could have been. He would have been. Snape was there at the same time as Jacob, apparently, and Rakepick, I think. So it works that he could be R. I just don't feel that. Don't feel that I must admit that Peter Pettigrew is R. But I think, yeah, I'm calling it, because one of the intentions he might have to teach us the Imperious Curse is that by teaching us, we may be able to defend against the people that are also after Peter Pettigrew. So this R organisation might be after Peter Pettigrew as well, and he might want to teach us something to defend against that. He's not necessarily completely against us. Interesting, I think. Let me know your thoughts on that theory. The Rakepick is no longer Rakepick, or is under the control of someone, and is the new cruel prison curse. Unforgivable curse casting. Yeah, Rakepick. What that lends to Rowan though, I just think that's kind of picks up the final point of why I don't think Rowan is R, is that there's so much more evidence and likelihood for other people in the game. Rake pick, Tulip. I've got my feeling about Tulip. We haven't seen a lot about her. She's definitely disappeared. Jacob, a third party that we don't know about, someone new. So there's loads of other people that could be R, and I think they're better cases for it than Rowan. I just can't see it. If it is, it would be like, it would be a massive twist, huge twist, because obviously Rowan is our best friend, and we know there's probably going to be something about people close to us. You know, there's got to be some deception, some big twist at some point. I mean, the biggest twist would be if it was something like Kettleburn or Barnaby. That would, but I would like just destroy the game. I just delete it. Like, nope, I'm not gonna play any further because I like being friends with them. Yeah. So, all in all, Rowan has a lot of evidence to support the fact that he probably could be R. He also has a ton of evidence that suggests that he's probably not the likely cause. It's like there's a lot of evidence for it and a lot of evidence against it. So I'm not discounting him, and he's still there in the back of my mind. Should we get any more information in the next few episodes, that will probably add more weight to the theory or against it. So we'll keep a close eye on him. Definitely keep a close eye on him in these last 2 years that we'll have after this year. Other than that, I just think, yeah, I don't think Rowan. I mean, like, he's got such good puns, and I just can't see somebody who betrays me having such good pun game. You know, that just doesn't compute for me. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think about Rowan. If anybody actually was somebody who said Rowan at the very beginning, has your opinion changed over time? Do you now believe it to be somebody else? Let me know all your theories, because I want to theorize about this, because I love it when you guys put theories, and then as the game progresses, some of the things have become true. Damn, that person was guessing that from the beginning, and it's really interesting to see that. So I think if we all come up with our own theories, post them in the comment section below. At least one of us has got to be right? Let me know. Okay, well, that is all for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all for me. See you soon.